1.
You're done?
I'm out.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't work for me. So I'm just deal with it.
Yeah. I leave Thursday to go on a golf trip, my annual golf trip with all my buddies.
And then tomorrow.
So you gotta get ready because you're definitely gonna be in this where I'm at.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy expensive, so.
Where you going?
North Georgia.
Okay.
Weather's gonna be gorgeous, so.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Actually. Yeah, that's it.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Are you feeling good?
No. You're in better shape.
But I'm thinking I'm gonna have to right. So I said, yeah, that was really good. I'm like,
This morning I was like, I don't think it's gonna be too bad. And it wasn't bad up until you hit Canton Road, and then there was a house. See, I didn't come to downtown.
Yeah, next. Go straight to the dark side.
And I was like, I feel like I'm in the car. You know when you guys have this phone out? Never know.
Yeah.
Still nothing. It's so funny, she basically like put together in town.
Really?
Yeah.
we started talking and we knew a lot of, I mean, it was just like crazy.
Such a small world.
Speaking of reading,
He said he was coming this morning. And he just really hopefully he comes in here. Yeah, right? Just go a little shopping, get a little gas, get some groceries.
You gotta keep gas down. Did you see the gas prices?
No, are they about to? No, I just think it's I wish I was closer to Costco. And I'm not a member.
Are you available for the meeting?
Do you know how many so far?
Yes. Yes. Well, let me check my phone before.
Somewhere. It was good. I'm not really busy.
I know.
Wow.
Powerful today.
what's up?
Cool.
Cal asked me about glasses.
No, good.
So Steve Cal said he asked me to teach with him. He just me to stand up. I said, yes, sir. So less time to do math. Yes, man, less
All right, good
time.
morning, everybody. Thank you for being here this morning. Somebody give me some good news. Angela, give me some good news.
We bring the good.
You drove in today. Why is that good news, Angela?
Because for the last 7 weeks I have not been able to drive on this.
So being able to drive is a big thing. Let's give her a hand, you all. She's able to drive again. Yay! That's good news. Give me some good news. Oh, come on, guys.
Okay, it's the national.
I'm English. Oh, it is English. I'm sorry.
It's Friday.
It's the National Taco Day, right?
National Taco Day.
Taco Day.
Taco Tuesday.
Por favor.
Oh, by the way,
By the way.
because of the current market, today is the National Podcast Day.
Something like that.
Milo, you're certainly full of it. I love you, Milo. Anybody else?
My son's getting married Saturday.
All right, say
Friday.
one more time.
My son is getting married. My oldest son's getting married Friday.
I'm praying for lots of grandchildren.
Amen. Me too.
Exactly right. Yeah, they're fun to spoil. I'll tell you that. I can tell you that I'm good at that. So, anybody else? Anybody else? You like to take Kathy, buddy? It takes a real man to work. All right, guys, let us move on. Our partners, Thomas and Brown here. She's in Boston. Boston, that's right, Chelsea. So anyway, guys, let's talk about their CE class. I'll put off both suits. So anyway, guys, we do so many CE classes here. We do so much teaching here, guys, and those are women sometimes. But Thomas and Brown is doing a 3-hour CE class, Show Me the Money, Financing in the GR Contract, October 18th from 10 to 1. It's going to be up in Alpharetta. Please RSVP to connect@proclosures.com if you'd like to go to that. Cheryl King, she is fantastic at that. Also, Thomas and Brown invites you to go into Buckhead, October 13th, which is tomorrow from 5:30 to 7:30. No, that's next week, I'm sorry. Next week from 5:30 to 7:30, the Southern Gentleman, Buckhead Village, 3035 Peachtree Road. If you've not been to that bar, that's a really fun bar. Good place to go in, easy parking, so go there. Enjoy them again from 5:30 to 7:30. Guys, please put this on your calendar. Getting Doug Duncan is just an amazing blessing. He's probably one of the top forecasters in the country of what's going on in the economy. Guys, and thanks to Supreme for this. They helped us get, actually they got Doug for us. It's going to be live. It's going to be in Sandy Springs at the Sandy Springs downtown Sandy Springs at their convention center there. Usually with Doug Duncan, October 20th, 9:30 to 11:30. You do not want to miss this. Doug is amazing. He's bright. He can tell you what should go on next year with the economy, and you need to have this and know what to tell your clients. So please do this. This is put on for you and the rest of the Rawls group. So thank you, Supreme.
There they are.
Sit down now.
That's okay. Good morning, Keller Williams.
Buenos dias, buenos dias. Okay, yeah, when you see the flyer right there, you have no excuse to use the QR code or go and RSVP. This is very important. Yeah, definitely. And Jim, my assistant today, talked about that. That was my part, but I hired him today to do that. So thank you so much.
Say it in Spanish then.
Bueno, entonces, ahora tienen que venir a este evento, por favor. Okay, we have Don Duncan, the chief economist of Fannie Mae, but now we have the chief economist of Supreme Lending. Yeah. To talk about a little bit about what's happening now.
So, what would you all guess is the average down payment of the home buyer banks? What do you think?
It's about
3%. 10% is pretty close. So about 12% overall. You know, move-up buyers might put it down a little bit more. What do you think it is for the average first-time home buyer?
5%.
7%, right? So if you're making an offer, pretend you're the buyer or representing the buyer, and you know it's a little bit, listings are staying on the market a little bit longer now, right? You might have a little bit more room to negotiate, right? A little bit. Sometimes it's real competitive, sometimes it's not. But what if you, instead of asking for a reduction in price, what if you ask for 3% or 6%, maybe up to 6%? Of seller contributions towards closing costs? That would actually impact your buyer in a more positive way. It actually benefits the buyer more, keep the sales price where it is, instead of getting a price discount, get anywhere from a 3 to 6%, whatever is allowable, discount, towards closing costs. Our partner Tim is gonna explain the triple threat.
So I know I've talked about the 2-1 buy down, so I'm not gonna go into that a lot again, but there's now basically a new program that Supreme is putting out, making this what I consider the triple threat. You start off with a 2-1 buy down, so the buyer's saving money there. Second, if they refinance within 2 years, so within that 2-1 buy down, they refinance, there's the seller's credit is put into an escrow account, so whatever is left over in that escrow account, they get as equity. So they're getting to save money with 2-1 buy down, and then they're getting additional equity into their home that they didn't pay a penny for. And third is that Supreme is doing a deal to where it's no cost for refinance. So if you purchase your home with us, then when you come back and refinance, whether it's at any point after 9 months to the end of the life of the loan, it's no cost to Supreme, so it's gonna save them a lot of money. So why not buy a house right now if you're getting to save money, gain equity they don't pay for, and then save money when you refinance when the rates go down in the next year, 2 years. It's a huge benefit for buyers, and then sellers can just promote the 2-1 buy downs when they talk to us. We can explain how, when your buyer comes to talk to us, and we can explain to them how they also get these other potential benefits. So it's a great way to start promoting that and get people who are nervous about what's going on in the market.
So we call that married house and date, the rate.
Well, rent the rate, right? So, but, and this 2-1 buy down, they're gonna save $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, depending on the price of the home and how much they borrow per month, right? That's gonna have a lot bigger impact, and if rates are down, now Fannie Mae is forecast, I don't wanna take away anything from what Doug Duncan is gonna talk about next week, but Fannie Mae's forecast for the fourth quarter next year is 5.5%. So, they can refinance then, they can wait, refinance later, whatever, but, that way they get a low payment now, get a low payment then, it's the best time for them to buy a home right now before prices continue to go up. A year from now, when rates are lower, prices are gonna be higher, and there's gonna be more competition, right? So this is the best time.
So I have a question. Is there like a formula that we can, I love math, but I'm not a numbers person. A formula that would help us like present it, or could you provide something like a formula or like a template for us? Hey, if you buy a house for $450, this would be your regular, mortgage rate based like 20% down, great credit. But then if you do the 2-1 buy down, this would actually be, I did it with somebody and their difference was $400.
Yeah.
But if I had it like handy, maybe it would be a better conversation with
Can I
somebody.
answer that question for you?
Okay.
I don't know, but can I refer you to my partner, let my partner tell you?
But they want the answer on the spot. Everybody wants the answer on the spot,
Yeah.
even if it's a guideline for them.
I mean, are there guidelines that's easy, closing costs used to be 3%.
Part of it used to be, part of the answer is that, well, it's gonna depend on how much they borrow, right? And what the interest rates are, and so, how much the actual savings. We can give you approximations, but all three of us are available anytime, so we'll be glad to work up the numbers for you on the spot. Hey, I'm meeting with the buyer in 10 minutes, can you, they're thinking about, I've got a buyer sitting with me here right now, can you tell me what we'll be glad to do.
Okay.
The only reason I say that is if you're wrong, that will come back home. Am I being wrong about that, guys? I'm misstating that? I mean, I don't want to, because she asked a great question. I mean, would y'all rather give it to the lender, or would you rather answer on the spot? Which is the best one?
It depends on the client, right? It depends on the risk profile. Some people want to answer right on the spot, and they're okay with you saying approximately. But, and because I'm not schooled in finances, let me refer you to somebody else. But some people want to answer.
And I guess that, and that may be the answer right there. I mean, I'm not out there, I'm in my ivory tower, so I respect that question. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna agree with you, Jim. If you give someone the wrong information, they'll remember that and they'll carry it with them. The less likely to refer you prior to the transaction. For me, I don't make up answers. I refer to somebody else I trust.
I respect you to do what is best for you and your client. I respect
Yes.
that. You have to do that, but guys, just, one of these three guys, or this one back here, one's gotta be available pretty quick, so I get that. So,
And Magdalena, I think we all kind of get where you're at too, meaning we want to be able to give tools, and these guys and Reed's team, they're great about giving those little tools, those little pieces of document. But it takes that pressure off you of being that person, right? Like, of everything. You don't want to be that person. It's a great time to partner and leverage your partner, which makes you look good because you have great partners that you can have that conversation with. And that's what those guys are great about. And I think that kind of, like exactly what Jim said. Yeah, it adds more credibility to you versus being that person of always wanting to give the answer kind of for everything.
And there is always solutions. What happens is one solution probably is not the same solution for another person. That's why it's always a different case every time.
And Jim, I think any of us, these guys, even if we're not on the transaction, if you need like, hey, can you give me a ballpark number? We're gonna pick it up for you and just say somewhere in this range, because we want to,
We want you to win.
Right.
Anything else? Since I took up some of your time? Anything else?
Well, it's great. Y'all have been awesome. We so appreciate you.
Let's give them a hand, you all. All right, welcome to All Atlanta Inspection Service. I've heard of you all before. Amir Smith, come on up, guys. Ronnie. Sorry, I'm always great, thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. I love staying here at team meeting and learning and going back and forth on the different strategies, and I kind of have that same approach, right? Ducks are ducks and chickens are chickens, right? So I'm a home inspector. We're your home inspection partner, right? So anytime you need those questions asked or answered, whether we did the inspection or not, most all of you in here know that you call us and I'll help you decipher what they're trying to ask for, right? Because all of a sudden now we're finding ourselves with ATAX. Have y'all freshened up on those? Y'all taking, we need some classes on ATAX, right? That's a good class. We got to teach these guys this, right? We've been living in la la land for a couple of years, right? So I want to make sure that that I'm a tool in your belt, right? I want to help you. I want to help your clients. If you're working, I'm working. Right? So if you have questions about an inspection, call us. We'll walk you through that whole process, whether we did it or not, I don't care. My job as a partner is to help you, right? And to help each other. So hopefully we did the inspection. It makes my life a lot easier because we speak English, right? Or Spanish in our reports. We don't want to speak architect, or we don't need to display how smart we are in our languages and our reports. We want to make things easy. This world is complicated enough for everyone, right? So anytime you use us, we're going to call and get your termite inspection scheduled, right? We're going to get that there for you. With y'all, we use Punch List USA. Y'all know about that, right? So we're going to take your inspection report. We're going to take your critical summary, and we're going to get you a live estimate for it. Right, in 24 hours, okay? So that way you don't have to worry about calling 17 contractors. We do have due diligence now, thank you, right? But you don't have to worry about getting all those people out there. We're gonna give you a live estimate so you know what things are gonna cost, right? As we're coming into this the fourth quarter of this year, things feel a little weird, they feel different, right? But no need to panic. Y'all are the professionals, right? So have to, want to. We have to work twice as hard. So we're going to be out there just with you. We're going to be a part of your team, and we're going to be here anytime you need us. I can guarantee you that. We work 7 days a week. If you need it done, we got you. So please feel free to call me with any questions or concerns that y'all have. I really don't care if we did the inspection or not. If you're a listing agent and you have questions about what they're asking, y'all know to call me. So please do that. If there's anything I can ever do to serve you, please let me know. It's this wonderful time of the year. It's Catherine's favorite time of the year because, for all our clients that, and agents that use us, she knows that she makes me sit in the kitchen for about 4 days and make pumpkin butter for everybody, right? And jelly. So everybody knows that, right? So I hope to see y'all in October sometime, and then just look for gifts of pumpkin butter between now and Thanksgiving. So, thank you guys.
Give them a hand, guys. Thanks for the breakfast. And Dr. Reed, you'll say something about this, don't you?
Is this now the time? It's now the time, okay. Okay,
What you said.
what I said, oh, that's what I said, thank you. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So we all know what happened in Florida last week, right? Okay. All right. And we all have friends that we've prayed through. So I just want to give you guys some quick notes on what happened. KW Cares has huge, big old trucks that as soon as there's a disaster, they start heading out. So as of 10/1, 1,200 generators were delivered, 138 emergency grants and disaster relief funds was given, which totaled $1.9 million. So I want you guys to be aware of what you're a part of. I also want to point out that 80 to 90% of all of the money that KW Cares has comes from you guys, right? And just in case you don't know how to set up a deduction, it is 5 easy clicks. So if you go into command on your pretty picture, right on the right side, and you click on the drop down, you're gonna go to settings. Then it's gonna take you to the left side. And then you click on settings and command, and then opportunities setting, and then you click on recurring deductions. 5 clicks. And there you're gonna see KW Cares, KW Kids Can, you're gonna see bold scholarship guides. This is so easy. And if you're thinking, I have no money, every $5 helps. Every $10 helps, every $25 helps, because can we all agree that we're gonna have more hurricanes coming? Yes? Can we all agree that somebody like me who's standing here is gonna have a catastrophe, right? There's gonna be a relative who's gonna be ill. There's gonna be somebody who's died. There's somebody who's gonna need an operation that your insurance doesn't cover. And KW Cares is gonna write that check for you. So I'm looking at everybody in here, and I know 20% of you is gonna go to command today, because it's the 80-20 rule, and you're gonna set that up, right? You're gonna set it up, and you're gonna take $5 out, just set it up. Melissa will take $5 out, and it is so important, you guys, because we really support each other. And thank you from Mo Anderson.
Thank you, thank you. Let's give our hand. Which is your favorite White Horse C2 cheese this morning?
Mine?
Yeah,
I would say communication.
Why is it? That's a great one. Why would you say communication, Kelly?
Because I think especially, it's just very timely for right now. We're asking a lot of questions, always seeking to understand where our clients are, where their heads are at, where our leads, what are they thinking right now? What's their story? What's their truth?
I love that communication. And of course, after first to understand, as you said so beautifully. That's a great one, Kelly. All right, let us move on. Get in the zone. All right, Rob, tell them about this.
So we're going to start today just with an introduction to the Power Zone, the lead gen. And what we're going to talk about really is meaningful conversations and how to have those and where you're going to get the information, because at the end of the day, everybody out there is looking to you as the professional, right? And be able to give them good quality information, facts. So as you're going to the database and even talking to someone, bless you, someone in the grocery store and everything, that you have a good quality conversation that's not about you trying to sell a house or you trying to represent a buyer. It's giving good facts, because where are people getting their information?
TV.
That's right after team meeting. Right after team meeting, guys. Come on, if your schedule allows, come on for a team meeting and get in the zone and figure out how you can finish this year, start next year with a bang. So come on by. I'll be here also. All right, Multiply Your Business, October 6th, 11 a.m. to 3, virtual only. And I don't know much about this. What is this? Who did? Carrie Qualters, this is for Carrie Qualters, Multiply Your Business, so please do that. It's gonna be just via Zoom, virtual only, that's October 6th, 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Please do that.
It's a KW Cares.
It's for, it's a KW Cares event, thank you for that. It's a KW Cares event, okay? And guys, the ones of you that have license law, particularly if you're renewing your license this year, you need to have this in 3 hours C credit. We're talking about Kathy Woods, who knows it very, very well. Please register. You can register by scanning right there. So do that and get that taken care of, because you didn't know you need to have it in order to renew your license. And guys, and then Steve Cal, okay, come on up here, Chris. I was reading, just write a check for $1,000.
I'm good for it.
Hey everybody, I'm honored to actually be able to help Steve Cal, this business planning class this coming Friday. Companies are sending out this today, work to complete in advance. So if you've been there before, we kind of get in there and do a bunch of math and it kind of bogs things down, right? We actually made an Excel spreadsheet where if you plug information in, it will auto-populate the rest of the information. So less time on math, more time on actual good conversation about your business, setting goals, living life by design. The best way to prepare is actually do the work ahead of time. Take an hour of your day and complete the information. You know, what your average transaction, things like that. Bring your laptop to that class. If you get behind, it's okay. We will kind of keep on plugging it through, but we create it this way so you can kind of follow back up later and complete the information. Sometimes in past years, if you got behind, you got stuck in the last hour, so you kind of felt like you're in a fog. The new plan is to have everyone on the same page, all work together, and basically at the end of this, our goal is to learn how many transactions you need to live the life you deserve. What covers your business expense to run a business, to run your house, and then beyond that, what kind of goals can you achieve by selling an extra 2 houses, 5, 10, what your life look like. So plan on coming out on Friday to that class with Steve and I.
And he's the best.
He's amazing.
He's amazing, guys. He's right here, part of our office, guys, and his math coach, and he is great. Knows the MRA book better than anybody.
Yeah, he is my math coach. I can vouch for him as far as just the leadership he gives me as far as growing my business. He's been teaching this for years in this office. I came in the very beginning when I started, and the guidance he gave me helped me be motivated to do more, because I realized what more meant. At the end of the day, you're like, wow, if I do this much more, what can I get from that? He shows you that.
So guys, you just need to be here for this, because first day here at Keller Williams, and you've been here for 15 years, guys, you need to do this because it'll be great. Thank you, Chris.
Yep.
All right, Angela, you want to talk about this?
Yes, starting next on the 12th, Wednesday,
Yeah.
we will be hosting Financial Peace University in the office. It's an opportunity for you to start with a wealth planning process, legacy for your children, and learning financial tools. So I would love for you to be a part of it. We're first 2 people, I'm not sure where we are now, it's gonna be $99, and thereafter the price goes up. So early admission is good. Sign up.
Please do this, guys. If you struggle every single month to pay your bills, you need to be in this, because it'll teach you how to save more than you spend, guys. Just come to this, it'll be great, and thank Angela for doing it. Remind you again, market of the moment with our own Courtney Newton. This is her 3rd installment of this, guys, so please come. I've been joined as it usually fills up, so please get online and sign up. And it is on October 13th from 10 until 12. Guys, it's great information, great scripts. So if you've not been to one yet, please sign up. And you sign up through Kimberly or through House, Kimberly?
QR code.
QR code, it's right there, I see the QR code, thank you. So guys, let's come away. So please come join Courtney for the 3rd installation of these classes. Productivity Week, guys, that's coming up. It's an abbreviated Productivity Week, but on Monday, Paige Morgan's gonna come talk about farming. We're gonna have a special guest on Tuesday, luxury listings, I think on Wednesday, is that right? We're working on that, okay? And then Thursday is the speaker, Doug Duncan, guys, and you don't want to miss any of this, so put this on your calendar. And then Friday is the chili cook-off at 12 o'clock. So got a lot going on, October the 17th through the 21st.
And a question, now, is the chili cook-off just for the vendors? Okay.
And
I've already received 3 votes.
Did a tasting already?
He's back there.
it's just gonna be that good. I don't know what's happening, but I've already got 3 votes.
Heard you're cooking, is that right?
Yeah.
Volunteer, okay, great. All right, guys, just realized that's coming up. Trunk or treat's coming up on Saturday, October the 22nd. Anybody want to talk about that?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, please, yes, thanks,
yeah.
Liz.
No problem. So we did it last year. It was a big success, and you can invite your database to it, and we'll have cars decorated, and games, and food, and TVs for sports too, thanks to Supreme. So invite your group, and it should be a lot of fun.
What date is that?
The 22nd. 3
Guys,
to
as
5
you can
p.m.
see,
on the
we have a
22nd. It's a Saturday.
prolific calendar of stuff going on.
Well, we will have a TV out there.
Is it like come and go, or do you have to be here at 3?
Oh, you can
Could
be
be
anytime
anytime
between 3 and 5,
and
yep.
Bring your children and hang
But
out.
we would like RSVPs, so that we have a head count for food and candy and all that, so.
Another one for us? Cool, I love it. Thanks, Liz. International Potluck. You want to talk about this also?
Sure, with Angela.
The Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee is hosting an international potluck, so you can bring a dish representing your ethnicity, your nationality, and we'd love to have you. You can sign up beforehand to let us know who's participating and what type of support you need as far as plugs and outlets and type of.
Busy. And guys, just one more time, save the date. We're gonna have our annual holiday party this year at the Punch Bowl Social. That's something a little bit new, a bit different. December the 9th from 6 to 9 o'clock. Should be incredible. If you've not been to Punch Bowl Social, it's a great place to be. A lot of activities there, so put it on your calendar. Again, December the 9th, 6 to 9. Lessons learned, we're gonna hold off on that one and move on, because I want to get Kelly Allen. Kelly, come on up. Welcome, Kelly Allen. So about 11 years ago, Jeremy Trash called me and says, I'm sending you a gift.
Actually, it was 12 years.
12 years ago, I said, wow.
Yeah.
And what a gift. So,
Wow.
well, welcome, Kelly. We're glad to have you here with us.
Thank you so
Sure,
much.
sure. Lights on or off?
Off right now. So I'm just about, Kimberly's about to play a video, and this is gonna go right along into the objection handling. Because right now, obviously, you guys, if you're like us, you're hearing a lot of objections when it comes to interest rates. What other objections are you guys hearing?
Buyers, wanting to
Wait.
until the market crashes.
Yep, prices
So
come
they can
down.
buy, yeah.
Sellers waiting to see, maybe sellers, you know, they've got low interest rates, why would they buy with high interest rates, things like that, right? So today, I'm gonna teach you guys, if you wanna learn, how to overcome any objection you ever get from anyone. And it's really simple. And I wanna start it with this video that just landed today. This is Robbie. He is our ISA coach. He's a good friend of mine. And I think it kind of says everything.
I always tell people that lead.
Kimberly?
By the way, when videos stop on me, they always stop at the worst possible time.
Conversion.
Never a cute spot.
It always comes down to 3 simple things. 1, learning somebody's truth. 2, speaking truth. And 3, storytelling. And friends, in today's market, with the markets shifting and buyers seeing interest rates going through the roof, you have to be so good at storytelling. Here's what this looks like, right? Let's talk about the advantages for buyers in today's market. The reality is that buyers have some things, there's some selling points that did not exist a year ago. Let's talk about it. 1, buyers have leverage. They have power that they did not have a year ago. 2, they have time. They don't have to make a decision, boom, like that. And then more importantly, the most important one of all, buyers have choices today. You gotta be a storyteller. When you're following up with them, and if you're just following up with leads or having conversations with leads, and just, hey, just wanted to check in, stop wasting your time. You have to be a really good storyteller. Sure, interest rates are up, but the reality is there's a lot of advantages. Frankly, I'd rather be buying a home today Because you have power and leverage. You have time. And then most importantly, you have choices that you did not a year ago. Buying a home a year ago sucked because you had to make it in haste, you had no leverage. Heck, you were lucky if you get an inspection. You were lucky if you could find one home. Now you have more choice. Be a good storyteller, friends. It's one of the keys to being a great lead converter.
All right. What did you guys get from that?
It was very straightforward, very coming from a heart, very natural, very not scripted, like real.
Did he believe in what he was saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where you guys have to start. We all have to start with what is our belief about this market? If you're scared, if you're fearful, if you're freaking out about where interest rates are or prices going down, then it all starts in your head with overcoming objections. You can't help people through what they're going through if your belief is this market sucks. Why would anybody buy with interest rates this high? Maybe I would wait too. I'm thinking about going and getting another job, right? The good days are over, okay? So it all starts with your belief system. So you've got, I can't teach you anything unless you honestly believe that this is an incredible market. And I believe that it is. And so when we talk about objection handling, storytelling really is one of the most important things that you can do. But the mistake that most people make when they get an objection, can anybody guess what the mistake?
Explain it. Try to explain it away instead of asking the next question to
Yes.
see what the objection really is.
Exactly, exactly. So we like to talk because we sound smart, right? So we get into a monologue, right, instead of a dialogue. So I want you guys to write this down, okay? This is important. So the first thing that you're gonna do, give me an objection.
You know what, Kelly, I am not giving this house away. My neighbor sold for $750 in March, and $750 it is. Or else I'll just leave it on the market. I am not giving my house away.
All right, I'm not giving my house away. That's a great objection. Now we also have to think about, is this an objection? Is it a smoke screen? That actually really is an objection, but we could go deep into, is it really an objection? Maybe it's just a question. Maybe it's a smoke screen. Maybe there's something behind it. Maybe they're just making an observation, right? All right, so first we want to acknowledge their objection. You're not agreeing with it. It's very important to know this. But number one, you're going to acknowledge their objection. So the way I like to do that is, you know what, Authorine? If I were selling my home right now, I might feel the exact same way that you do. Or if I were you, and I didn't do this day in and day out, I might be feeling the exact same way. How else can you acknowledge someone's objection?
I hear you.
I sure do respect
I hear
your
you.
opinion. I respect what you're saying.
Appreciate that.
I hear you.
Yeah.
It gives them validity.
Yeah. I get your perspective.
Well, it shows you're listening and you care about their concern.
Yeah. And to even plus it, maybe repeat back what they're saying. Got it. So what I hear you saying is, you don't want to give your house away, right?
Exactly.
And you know what? If I were in your shoes right now today and I didn't do what I do every day, I'd be feeling the exact same way. All right, so you've acknowledged it. So now you're diffusing it because what they're expecting you to do is go into this diatribe about all the reasons why they're wrong and you're right? But we're not going to do that. All right, so number two, you're going to redirect the conversation because here's what's happening right now. People are living in a state of fear, right? And when people are in a state of fear, they tend to live in a space of uncertainty, right? As human beings, when we feel this, we feel that action is not the smartest thing, so we tend to wait. And that's just what most human beings do. So our goal is to shrink the fear, okay? All right, so number two, we're gonna redirect the conversation. So with authoring, it might sound something like this. So authoring, help me understand, or maybe remind me, why you began this process of moving in the first place.
Oh, I got everything from my beach house.
Okay. So what did you guys hear right there? Yes. So we're acknowledging that she has an objection and she has a fear, but what I'm trying to do is get her back to, why did she start this in the first place? What is this negative present that she's in? And what is this positive future that's gonna happen when she sells, for whatever price it is, okay? So now she just told us she's got a beach house, or she wants to get to the beach, right? So this is probably a lifestyle move. She's moving towards a positive future. And what's shocking and frankly really sad is that a lot of people will put off their dreams and their positive future because of the uncertainty they feel today. And it's so sad. And our job is to learn their truth to the extent that we become masters at getting people, moving people from their negative present into their positive future, back to their negative present, back to their positive future. You have to become masters at that during the conversation. All right, so now you have to earn their permission to speak your truth, okay? So you're just gonna recap some things, right? So, authoring, what we talked about so far is that you're moving because you're ready to get to the beach.
Yep.
Right? Awesome. And I know it's you and your husband, and he's feeling pretty excited about this move as well,
Oh,
right?
he's ready to go.
Yeah.
He just wants to dump the house and go.
Got it. Well,
which is not happening.
Absolutely. I know it is absolutely not going to happen. Got it. And then remind me when you guys needed to be there again.
Yesterday.
Yeah. And I'm so, by the way, I'm so glad that nothing happened to it during the storm. You guys clearly picked a good spot. I'm sure there were a lot of prayers around that. And then how long do you think that you'll be at the beach? Like, do you think that you'll be, this is where you're retiring? This is your, right? All the kids are gonna come see you. The grandkids will eventually come see you there.
Strategic move, man.
I love that.
Because my kids love the beach, and this is the way to get them to come home with their spouses.
Yes. You know what I also love about that is when they come see you at the beach, they're gonna stay. You're forcing them to stay multiple days with you, right?
Yes.
Whereas right now, what do they do? Probably.
They'll just call.
Yeah, or pop in,
Or
maybe,
pop
pop
in,
right
yeah.
back out, right? Yeah, no, absolutely. I know it because I did the same thing. Is there anything else that's really important about this move to you that we haven't talked about yet?
For my husband's health and peace of mind. He's less stressed when he's at the beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so having him less stressed, his health better, I mean, ultimately, what will that do for you guys, your family?
You know, I think it takes pressure off of all of us, because the kids can see too how stressed he is and how worried he is about everything. But at the beach, something magically happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
So really, authoring, what I'm hearing you guys tell me is that this isn't even just a, hey, we want to move to the beach. This is a must move for you guys, for your family, for his health, right?
Yeah.
For your legacy. Got it. So now number 4, I'm gonna handle the objection finally. Okay, so I'm gonna come right back around to it, but where is her mind right now?
The future.
Going.
I'm in the future.
She's ready.
Yeah, and she's reminding herself about the negative impact, the negative future of staying. What's gonna happen if she stays?
Compromise her husband, jail.
You're helping her overcome her own objections. I mean, it's all sunk in at that point.
I'm letting her speak her truth, right? I'm just giving her the floor. I'm just I'm moderating it by asking questions and then shutting up, because that's another thing that we love to do is we just love to talk too much, right? I'm just as guilty of it, but I have to really make myself, a great way to make yourself be quiet is to tap your leg like 4 times after you say something. And or after they say something. It's just a great way to slow down the cadence of it. All right, so now you're gonna handle it and you're gonna keep it simple. I love to handle an objection with a story. Okay? And I like to usually start, you're talking less, you're downswinging more. I like to usually start with, would it surprise you to know? Something like that, right? We also on our team, we started with a level shift. And so a level shift is where you get them, so typically people are in this is your brain. What do you think this means? It's the part we use. Focus. Yeah, Angela. This is the part that as human beings, we use only about 10% of our brains every day. And so when she's giving the objection, when she's living in, I don't want to lose money, my neighbor sold for this, I gotta get this, I'm not changing my mind, this is it or nothing, she's in this 10%. So what you've got to do, and with all the questions you've already been doing, is get her living outside of that 10%. And so a level shift before you handle the objection does something like that. So it might be offering, would it surprise you to know that by waiting until you feel like you can get your price, you actually will be making less money. And so you just want to let that sink in. And guys, sometimes this can be 10 seconds, sometimes it can be less, but the response you're looking for is, what do you mean? Right? Yeah, exactly. What do you mean? Right? Perfect. Because when they say, what do you mean? Now they're living out here. I want you to imagine they've opened the door to their mind and you got to walk into it. Okay. So I might say, so Ankareen, what I mean by that is I actually had a client recently who was moving because they couldn't do the stairs anymore in their house. And their neighbor 6 months ago had just sold for $650,000. And what they decided to do was wait to sell until they felt like they could get their number. And do you know what happened the other day? They called me because they fell down the stairs. And do you know how much their home is worth today? I can sell it for probably $600,000 today. When they first called me, I could probably sell it for about $630,000 or $640,000. See, Ankareen, we're in a market where the average sales price is going down. We're decelerating every month. And what concerns me about you holding out for a price that your neighbor got 6 or 7 months ago in a completely different market is that you're going to leave yourself in a house, you're going to continue to live in a house that doesn't work for your husband's health, causes you to not have the happiness you deserve, and keeps you more isolated from your children, even though they're close by. So, Ankareen, here's what I'd like to do for you in your situation. Or here's what other homeowners are doing in your situation right now. They're choosing to go ahead and get on the market, knowing that they're going to sell their house for the highest price possible that the market will allow right now. And Ankareen, they're doing that before interest rates continue to go up and prices continue to go down. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and agree that we're going to get it on the market so we can get you guys down to the beach. And then let's fight for the highest price that we can possibly get. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds like we can try it.
Yeah,
I would say try. You try.
try it, yeah.
Mhm.
So,
What price are we gonna try?
yeah.
Yeah, what do you
That's
think?
when we get into the, yeah, so that's when we get into the price. So that's where you have to come with data. You have to show her, like, for example, I was speaking to a seller yesterday in 30328. The average sales price dropped, I think it's like 36% since June. And just month over month, it dropped 11%. That is a stat that we have to know. You guys have to be masters of the market, and that to be a master, you have to know the stats of what's happening in the market. So, step 5 is next steps, and I kind of handled the objection and went right into 5. So number 5 is next steps, and either set the appointment, ask for the business, get them moving ahead. So you do that by number 1, rephrasing and retelling their story. Okay? And then when you retell their story, you want to practice what I call herd effect. So herd effect is where you let them know what other people in their situation have done or are doing. As human beings, we don't want to be the only one doing something, right? We want to know that others are making the decision as well. Then you're going to come up with a game plan. Let's go ahead and get it on the market. Let's go ahead and set the appointment. Let's go ahead and set up a consultation now to discuss the pros and cons of buying right now. And then you want to end it with a value question. Would that be helpful for you as well? How does that sound? Something like that. Okay. So what questions do you guys have?
At what point you can use the equity value that they have on that house in terms of when did you buy that house, how much? Of course, they're getting some appreciation. And usually the client or the borrower is gonna think like, oh, I'm losing money. But at the end, they're not losing money. They're making a little less, but still making money compared to when they bought.
That would be a great level shift. If you know how much equity they have, then I might say something like, would it surprise you to know that you're still going to make a considerable amount of money, just slightly less than what you would have made 6 months ago? Yeah, so get them thinking differently about, it's not about sales price, it's what they're gonna net. That's what you're saying, right? Yeah, I love that.
Kelly, how do you, I mean, obviously you've been doing it a long time, but how do you get the people on your team? So when they're communicating with clients, I get calls all the time, y'all get calls all the time, and you can tell when you're being sold, right? And I don't like it. I mean, I hang up those calls immediately. How do you work on or coach tone so that it doesn't sound strident, it doesn't sound manipulative, forceful, condescending, so it's actually, it comes across as genuine? How do you, I mean, is there a way to do that?
I think that, I think it starts with, the best example I can give you is I've got 3 ISAs. One of them is a very high D, one of them is a very high S. The high D tends to barrel through a conversation, right? So I think that depending on your personality, number 1, mirror and match the other person. That's a great way to have the other person feel connected to you faster. Plus using humor, that always connects people faster. But I would say if you're a high D, understand you're gonna need to slow down, ask more questions. Because you're gonna wanna jump to the end, because that's what we normally do. We like to jump to the end, and most people aren't like us. If you're a high S, for 1 second, if you're a high S, you're gonna have to understand that you're gonna need to probably speed it up a little bit. Yes, ask great questions, but understand when is it time for you to start the herd effect. This is what we're doing for other buyers in your situation. We're setting up consultations, You know, high S's can be very fearful of, hurting someone's feeling or making someone mad or inconveniencing someone. So I think it all starts with knowing who you are first, and then trying to figure out the personality of the person you're talking to, and then adapting how you talk and what you say to them. That's what I would do. Rob?
So that's a great question. Okay. I've been involved in Kelly's sales meetings, not just recently, but in the past, and we talk all the time. The advantage that Kelly and a team like Kelly's has, or other large teams, is that they are constantly role-playing and practicing and learning how to have conversations. So when you're an individual agent, okay, that's hard because you're not around others, where she was talking about the herd mentality to get people to kind of get out of their own way. It's the same in real estate as we're learning. If there's a herd around you that's learning this process and these conversations and doing it, daily, that's the difference. And when you just are, and I'm not down on individual agents, but what I'm saying is you're on an island a lot. And so when you do get opportunities and everything, you want to grab that opportunity and you want to, and I'm the worst, over talk. I was told years ago, she says tap her leg. I was told years ago, I got to put my finger over my mouth when I'm in a meeting because I won't shut up.
Amen. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Kelly, I was with you years ago when I was sitting with you and you picked the phone. He was a very angry man. She just disarmed him. So what do you do to disarm angry people? How do you handle those people? Sometimes you get a shower that's just shouting. How do you handle that, Kelly? You're like a master at that.
Well, thank you. Not always, but same thing. I think people just want to be heard. Don't you think people just want to be heard? People just want to be heard, and they don't want to be told they're wrong, even if they are wrong. They don't want to be told they're wrong. So I remember that conversation because it was a pretty scary situation. He was very upset. Same thing. You acknowledge. Listen, sir, let them talk. If I were in your shoes, I would be just as upset as you are today. And I want you to know, and I always apologize for things that aren't my fault or when they are my fault. So I want you to know I take responsibility and I apologize. Help me understand what I can do to make this better for you. But again, it's the same thing. You're giving them space to talk. That's all it is. Yeah. And then you're not making them feel like you're going to argue. It's the exact same as this.
An opportunity to vent. Let it all out.
That's what people want to do. And then when you take responsibility and you apologize, we do this with clients all the time. My team is so good about this. We're the first ones to say we screwed up, or hey, this happened, and internally it's not really our fault, but we just apologize. We take full responsibility. I think that disarms people more than anything. Yeah. So guys, here's your homework. You need to write down, make a list of every objection you're hearing right now. And you need to go find a story or think about a story of someone that has overcome and worked through that objection. Okay? A good one right now might be a buyer who was going to put their search on hold because of interest rates, but they went ahead and made the leap and bought a place, and now they're in their positive future, right? So that's a story. Another story would be a seller who wasn't going to sell because they couldn't get what maybe a neighbor got, or they couldn't get as much as they wanted, but went ahead and did it, and here's where they're at now. So brainstorm those objections, and then think about stories. And if you don't have a story, go find someone who has a story. You can always say, we were just working with the client in your exact same situation, right? Call us, we'll have a million of them for you, okay? And then role play, like what Rob said, go build a team, not like a team like I have, but go build a tribe of people that y'all once a day, you're sitting down and you're pitching out an objection, and you're going through this, and then break it down and give each other feedback on it. And if things are really going off the rails, I'll stop role play so we can work on it together.
And again, because sometimes we're working alone and we're so super hyper focused, we don't understand or we don't take advantage of what we're a part of. There are so many national scripts and role plays on Zoom every single day that you can jump into. All types of, there's a Eastern time one, there's a Pacific time one, there is a whatever the other time. I mean, seriously, guys, you can jump into a scripts and role play any time of day.
I would start with just
5 days a week.
Start with here,
Yeah.
gosh, and have a mixture of people, have new people, you know, people who are mid-production, who are in high production, like have a good mixture, and then you guys pitch what your issue is, what you heard, but remember, don't go off of this formula. Do not jump ahead, and so you guys all have it printed off in front of you, so that you don't allow people to skip things, because we will. We just want to, like, again, talk about why today's interest rate is a historic average. Who gives a crap? Nobody cares, right? It's what it feels like today. That's what matters.
I use the line to my clients that you're buying and selling in the same market. So at the end of the day, they could have sold their house last year for maybe more money. They also would have had to do the same when they bought the house and given away their firstborn to buy the house they wanted next.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same amount of money we're talking about, right?
So at the end of the day, yeah, I'm sorry you didn't sell last year, maybe net more. We would have given it you possibly could have given it back. So at the end of the day, really what's most important? Once you kind of get rid of that and get to the real question. Is the real question the most amount of money? Because that's the case, we can still get you the most amount of money and turn to buy the next house.
And typically, it's not the most amount of money. It's about what that next house gives their family.
Yep.
That's what I would dig into find.
And if the next house gives what they want and you're not overpaying for it, then how are you losing in today's market?
Yeah, and what does overpaying look like?
Yeah.
How do you define overpaying?
Exactly right. When last year you had a waived inspection and you're paying $50,000 above appraised value, hoping that it appraised. If you're not doing that now, depending on the house and the market price.
Yeah, this is the most exciting time to be a buyer, in my opinion, in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is.
And also
people think, like, when you tell buyers that and leads that, they're like, what are you talking about? You know? Like, that's a great level shift. Would it surprise you to know that this is actually the best time to be a buyer in the last 2
Kelly,
years?
this ties back to the first thing you mentioned.
Yes,
What
your
do you
belief.
believe?
What do you believe?
Because if you don't believe it, they're not gonna believe it.
Right.
Go work on that first.
Even if you're really an honest person, you're gonna feel like you're trying to deceive somebody unless you really believe that what I'm telling you is the truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's still a good seller's market if you price yours correctly.
Oh my God, I'm telling people we're in a window of time right now. If I'm a seller, I'm still selling in a seller's market, right? If it's in good condition and we price it where it should be, it's gonna go and it's gonna go for a premium. And I get to step into a higher price point where there's, probably more inventory, and now I get to negotiate, maybe get closing. I mean, it is, and I tell people, I don't know how long this window is gonna be open. Once buyers and sellers feel like things are normal, then things will begin to level out. But for right now, it's super exciting. Yeah.
Kelly, on that subject, tell us what you're seeing out there as far as the market in the next, say, 6 to 12 months. What are you seeing out there? What are you seeing out there?
Well, I mean, what I believe is going to happen is we'll continue to see a deceleration in year-over-year home values. I think we're still going to wind up, though, year over year. So as an example, East Cobb is still shockingly like 23% up, year over year. However, we fell 4% over 2 months. Now that doesn't include October from September. So telling the story of deceleration versus depreciation, right? Another crazy thing about East Cobb is that inventory is going down here where everybody else, where everywhere else is going up, And I'm like, East Cobb is just like this crazy, like, stepchild that just is not going to do what everybody else does, right? So I expect we'll still have year-over-year growth. It will be more towards a historic average probably next year. And I don't know, I mean, the experts are saying that interest rates, as you said earlier, are probably gonna top out, like probably spring, summer of next year, we're thinking. You guys might have some insight to that. So, you know, they're gonna keep climbing.
Told me this time next year, the interest rate may be 4.5%.
I heard 5.5. I feel like, I mean, and who knows, right? Who really knows? But here's what, if I'm a buyer right now, if I'm an agent talking to a buyer, I might, either they're hearing that, I might even say that. I might say, you know what, I get the fear of interest rate. Dig into why they're selling or why they're buying again, ask a bunch of questions. And then I might say, you know what, it sounds like for you to get a lower interest rate, you might have to wait a year or more.
2 years, is
And
that
you're
okay with you?
Yeah, and you're
2
telling me,
years?
tell me what that looks like for you and your fiance who are getting married in 6 months. Are you okay? I mean, are you okay living in this 1 bedroom for the next year while we wait for something to happen that may or may not even happen? So, yeah. Lots of good stuff.
Kelly, Liz had a question.
Oh, I think it was answered. Basically, Reed's question about how to sound genuine, it's all about actually believing what you're telling them.
That's
So
exactly right.
I was just
That's
gonna
a good
add
question,
that.
Reed. Yeah, really,
I mean,
yeah.
if you actually believe that you're telling them the right thing, then it's not gonna be
Yes.
genuine and salesy.
So if you don't have that belief, where can you go find that belief first? Yeah.
So your spin on the first time home buyer with the fears of the interest rates would be, you know.
Same thing. I would dig into, I'd let them know, you know what, if I were buying my first home right now, I'd be having the same questions if I wasn't in this market day in, day out. Remind me why you started the search in the first place. And then I would get into the who, what, where, when, why. Who's gonna be making this move with you? Where do you wanna be? You're getting them outside of that fear and getting them dreaming about the future, then handle the objection. You know?
How do you handle a situation where husband and wife are not on the same page?
Oh,
yeah. Let's hear this one.
On the same
That
page
was
for what?
good.
I have that one.
I
mean, it's a legit
On the
question.
same page for what?
Yeah,
Selling, buying, moving,
kind of anything.
Type of
type
house.
of house?
Anything. Well, I think she said.
Okay, here's what I do. I hand these pieces of paper and a pen, and I say, here's what we're gonna do. Write down the 5 most important things you know. Okay, grade school rules, no cheating, cover your paper, make it a game. 5 most important things, write them down. And then talk and have an honest discussion and compare them. And focus on what they match, not what they're dissimilar upon.
I love
50% of the time, she takes his pen.
Find the common conversation and focus on the common. And sometimes you realize that's really what's most important, and the small things fade away. So, piece of paper, a
I'm so
pencil,
glad I
pen.
came just to hear you say that, because we need to take that back to our team. That's really, really good.
And make it fun. Really say, cover your paper. You know, like no cheating. Make it silly,
Well,
and
yes,
just do
because
it.
humor again will diffuse a lot of
It diffuses it.
situations, and I think people think that they have to be on the exact same page,
And they don't.
and they don't have to. So I might using the herd mentality. I might say something like, you know, most couples don't agree on everything. So congratulations, you guys are like most couples I work with. Yeah.
Very good.
All right, that's it. Thank you guys for having me.
Finish up with that. So last night in church, one of the pastors comes in and he goes, Jim, is the market really that bad out there? I went, what?
What?
He said, Jim, you understand that sellers are losing money and they're losing equity. It's just, is it really that bad out there? I go, in Atlanta, Georgia? He goes, yes, Jim, I never seen so smell more news. Whatever, just pick the one you want to listen to. Tell me what you're hearing. Well, I'm hearing that market's going to go down. It's going to be a crash. Really, who are you hearing that from? He told me. I said, well, listen to them.
You too.
Yeah.
We always say you too. Okay.
Quit listening to that, guys. So guys, we've got to be the source of information out there. So besides asking, can I ask you how's the market out there? What should you be your first question after I ask you that question?
Question or response?
Why do you ask? Well, because is it a good time to buy? Great when you ask the question. Or I want to sell my house, but I understand we need to wait till next spring. So you always do it by doing a what? Asking a what? Question. That's right.
And then having story too.
And have, oh yeah.
Have it, tell a story. You know, no, this is actually a great market. In fact, I just helped someone from our church last week buy it, you know. I mean, I think a story is the best in that situation.
I love the story also.
Positive story.
Yeah, I mean, not a negative one.
Right,
That's a
yes.
good point. Yeah.
We gotta make sure we're the ones that are telling the story, and not letting us tell our stories. Tell them, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to head out in a second because my team meeting starts at 10:45, so I'm gonna get down here from Mill Village. But I did want to introduce someone someone who has changed the way that we do staging. And part of me really didn't want to introduce her to you guys because I want her all
For
to
yourself.
myself. But that's not in color, that's not in culture and all that stuff. And I really care about her and I believe in her business strategy. So Alicia Cedarberg here, she has been our home stager now for the past, a year and a half. Alicia approaches staging differently, and it has caused our listings to to show better than they've ever shown, to sell higher and faster than they've ever sold, and not just because of the market. And probably most importantly to me, I never get a call from a seller that questions staging or doesn't look right. Is someone going to be there before photos, things like that. So I'll let Alicia take it away now, but I will say that Alicia practiced with us for a year and a half. We really put her through the ringer. She does a two-step staging approach where she goes out there and does a staging walkthrough with your client. She, unlike most stagers, will help them move some stuff around as well. Most stagers are like, I'm not doing that. And she will go back before photo or the day of photos and continue to rearrange things so your photos are superb. And that is more important now than frankly it's ever been in this market. So
Kelly, real quickly, in line with what you just said, Brenda was just bringing up the point, like, what if the seller's like, I have to, do a lot of repairs and whatnot, I'm gonna wait till next spring. That objection, do you recommend that they do all those repairs and wait till next spring, or how do you get them to list now?
Well, I would say, okay, so fast forwarding through the objection handling process formula or whatever, what I would get them thinking about is what is going to be the cost to them to wait till spring versus how quickly can I help them get those most necessary repairs done right now. So that's the way I would approach that. And then I would be stepping in saying, I can handle all of this for you with my contractors. We can get it done in the next 2 weeks. Because I feel like sellers today are in a race against the clock. I really do. Because I mean, and until prices start going back up every month, they're going down in most areas and price points. So if I were a seller, I would not be waiting until spring. I'd be doing it right now. Yeah, especially with interest rates going up. Was there another question? Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So I'm gonna.
Can you share your list of contractors?
Yeah. Oh, that's really I'm going to turn it over to Alicia Cedarberg, and again, I'm giving you, kind of like what Jeremy said, I'm giving you a gift with Alicia. I would highly recommend you guys try her out because, again, the staging it's a totally different approach to it. So,
Yeah, for the record, a year and a half ago, Kelly was like, we do not need to stage every home. We're only going to do ones that are really bad or luxury. And now we do every single one, no matter what.
So you handled your objection.
She did very, She said basically it was watch me, and then it's like,
I mean,
and our agents rave. I mean, rave. So I'm so sorry I can't stay, but
it's okay. We've heard it all before.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you, guys. You guys.
Thank you. I'm coming to your
So I'm
sales
just going to
meeting.
give a few don'ts, but I hate that we have to talk about this, but people don't understand how important it is for your house to be clean. And it needs to be white glove clean, like from your baseboards to your ceiling fans and everything in between. It is worth paying some cleaners to come in. You wouldn't sell your home or you wouldn't sell your car without detailing it first. So detail your home. It's super, super important. There, and I'll give you some Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, this is not okay. This is not okay.
When'd you go to my house?
I got more. Here's another one. So you got pantries, closets, and.
Yeah.
So, and I show up, and this is what I show up to.
That freaks me out.
Photos.
the kitchen.
Just, you know, I've got a laundry basket, and I'm throwing it all in, and throwing it into the tub, and taking a picture, and then put it all back out. But not only does it need to be gone, you can't shove it in your closets. You can't, they're looking in every cabinet, every closet, every pantry. Take it away. And I try to tell people, you're moving. You know, you're gonna have to move anyway, pack it. And the people that do are like, wow, it feels so great that I'm halfway done. If you can't get rid of it, if you can't get rid of it, get plastic bins, put it on the bins, and stack them neatly in the garage. No closets, open in the closet. Not everybody loves your pets as much as you do. And hair and odors and all that is a huge problem. So I say clean the carpets, get all the pet hair out of there. For showings, I mean, you don't want a trace of an animal in there if possible. Get rid of the dog food, get rid of the bowls, get rid of everything, and definitely get rid of the pets. People don't, it's just hard. I mean, you can't always do that, but it's helpful. So, COVID has really made multi-purpose rooms popular, but it confuses buyers. So you don't, you can turn your extra bedroom into an office, but it can't be an office, a home gym, and a bedroom. You gotta pick one. But there's a couple of examples of these. So you've got a little desk nook in your living room, which people are like, well, what am I really doing here? And there's another one. There's another living room with a desk in it, and bedroom with a desk in it. It's in practical world, it's great. Yes.
I have a question about pets already.
Okay.
Brenda here.
She just keep going. We'll get to your question.
She said that one of her sellers has 6 cats.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that objection? Like, you tell them to put them in a boarding house, or like?
I mean, there are people that literally put them in their car for showings.
Yeah.
And just drive around. 6 cats. Open the windows too. Get all that, smell out of there, and do not use any kind of perfume smells or artificial smells.
No, this is
Well, you
their
do not
house.
do that.
This house belongs to them. I'm not removing them.
Oh, do you know I've actually had people tell me that? This house is the cat's house, and there's the carpet things that they all climb on, and there's all that kind of stuff. I convinced them that we moved it for photos, and then for showings, we'll put them in the car. It's hard, I mean, it's hard, but you're taking a huge part of your buyers away. We're trying to appeal to the largest number of buyers. And some people are just gonna be like, well, I'm not living in here, there's a dog in here, and I know all dogs be all over the floor. So that's it. I mean, it's just how it works. So colors. So here, there's a couple things going on in these. You've got bold color choices, which are typically not good just for buyers. In general, they want a neutral palette, but you've also got warm colors and cool colors. I'm not sure if this is really showing up all that well in here, but so I'll pick paint colors. I also work with builders to help put together all their color. Yeah, color blocking, again, light and dark. That just doesn't work. And people go, well, you don't like the colors? It's like, it's not about what I like. It's about trying to appeal to the largest buyers and get you the most money in your sales price. Trying to net you the most money in their sales too. So I'll be the bad guy. I will be the ones who will tell them that they have to take out their 500 family photos. People do that. And they're like, oh, but it's so homey and it's so meaningful and it's so this. And I will explain to them, because I took a psychological staging class on why this doesn't work for, getting the buyers that you want. It's so distracting, and people are seeing your family in the home and not their family in the home. So this is really emotional for sellers. I mean, it's their home. So when I tell them, you gotta take all these down and you gotta do this and they get, they're uncomfortable with it, but I explain to them why. And ultimately they come around and they see the photos and they get it. Once they'll fight me and be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then everybody sees photos and go, oh my God, it looks so great. It looks so great. And they get it. And this, so, this isn't terrible. But what are you looking at? Yeah, you're looking at the art, you're looking at the plants. That's a beautiful fireplace. And that's what the focus should be on. So everything I do is trying to put the focus on the architecture of the home, the special features of the home, which is fireplaces, windows, molding, everything that is not your aesthetic. So I'm gonna streamline it and take a lot, you don't stage how you live. So it's not gonna be warm and homey, anything like that. But it's gonna be neutral, and the important things are gonna stand out so that you, again, appeal to the largest number of buyers and get the most money for your home. And now it's more important than ever. Like I said, Kelly, a year and a half ago, was like, house, we don't need to do it. You don't have to do anything. These houses are selling themselves. Well, they're not anymore, and they weren't then either. You still would always make more. But I will go in there and I can explain to them how and why we're doing this. And if you guys can just back me up and say, just do what she says to do. That's what our agents do. Just do what she says to do. You will, you'll make my money, and that's what I'm trying to do.
You work with vacant houses as well?
I do. So I'll go in and stage kitchens, bathrooms, and again, one of the most important things is being a photographer, because angles and things that are not vacant homes. I want to hide this. I don't like this. Let's do this angle. Let's do this, because everybody's looking at photos before they go in to see a home. It's basically what they're, they've got a really strong impression of the home before they go in. You can tweak it and make a vacant house look good, hide some things that are not desirable, just distract against.
You do the toys, thousands of little toys.
I seriously go, well, I tell people to put them in bins and shove them under a bed or put them in, but if they're there, when I go for photos, there's this kind of stuff. I get a laundry basket, I'm piling it in there, I'm moving it for photos. It goes back, I tell them, you want your home to look like it does for photos, for showings, ideally. You could live in the home. I'm really impressed with it. Really, it's hard when you have kids and you're doing showings, but
you gotta kill the pets and the kids. Sorry,
exactly.
We got so loud.
And you basically get it ready and leave town. And it used to be you could leave town on a Thursday.
Send the dog and the kids to your mother.
Anyway, I would love to work with you guys. Yeah.
Do you use your own photographer, or
I'll do it either way. I schedule all our photos and I pick the photographers, and I like doing it that way because I have relationships with them. I have my favorites. So, but I'll do it either way. If you have a photographer you love, then I'm good with that too.
What about pricing? How do you handle pricing for staging?
So a staging consult, and that can go two different ways. I meet with them and either write up a full report on what they want or do a walk and talk. And they have full access to me at any time. I've been FaceTiming people with them trying to move things around and do whatever, and that's $250. Photos are $200. So I'll go in, I go in half an hour early. If they're there, great. If they're not there, that's fine too. And do things right. I add things, I'll add accessories. I wash windows. If it's, I'll do it and then put it back. So I'm there usually a half an hour before the photos and a half an hour after. Just making it look, and again, I'll add accessories.
The consultation, is it an hour, $13.50?
At least, it kind of depends on what they need.
Okay.
Now, if I'm there, if they want to do a walk and talk, and we're moving things as we go, and taking art off the wall, and moving things, and moving furniture and all that, however long it takes.
And then for the pictures, how many pictures do we get?
It depends on how many you want. Now, the photographer is a completely different price. So if it's based on the size of the home, is how we do it. If depending if it's, you know, if it's a 3-bedroom, we might get 35. If it's or 25, I mean, our photographers set it. I think it starts at 25, and you can go to however you want, and they'll do, you know, the drone or the twilight or something if it's super special in that way too.
And your email and phone number.
Yeah,
That'd be
that.
Perfect.
Any other questions?
Yes. I have. So is the agent typically paying for that, or does the client at times?
You know, I think it depends. When I sold my house several years ago and I paid a stager, Kelly pays me. It's part of the service. So it's part of their, when they have a listing appointment, it's one of their things. With a stager, she'll come in and do this, she's gonna get photos, she's gonna do this. It's a huge selling point. So you can do it either way.
Very quickly, why would Kelly pay for it?
Shows your value add.
Say it again?
It shows your value add.
Value add. Does it make her listings look better?
Yeah, it sells faster for higher money.
It does.
It's called cost of doing what?
And more than pays for itself.
Right, I think one more question. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Alicia. So, and how much is the photography cost that you recommend? So, that's the total.
How much is the photographer?
Yeah.
Again, it's gonna depend on the number of photos.
Like, I don't know, for that regular house.
Depends on the
Square
footage.
Yeah.
The square footage,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The question is, what's the cost if you don't have them professionally photographed? What's the cost of that?
That's not even.
It doesn't sell, does it?
And that's another thing that when I started with Kelly, she was like, I want you to, you know, interview photographers. She didn't like the photos, she didn't like what was going on, so we honed in on that and got some people that we like and that work well with us. They appreciate it because we give them a lot of business. And, I've developed a really close relationship with them.
C-D-E-R, D-E-R.
G.
G, great. Wish it was a G. G, great, great. Anything else, you all? All right, Rob, I'm gonna turn over to you. Guys, we're dismissed for the team meeting. What time is your event, Rob?
Right now.
Right now.
It's at 11.
Great. Hey, well, thank you.
You're out of coach.